Millennials now make up a third of all U.S. voters. That's according to the Pew Research Center. They roughly tie baby boomers as the largest generation to make up the American electorate. Now, here to talk about the election from the millennial perspective, we have Amber Mueller, a Democrat and graduate student at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. She is currently the university student government president. And we also have Chris Tomlinson, a Republican and Towson University grad. While in school, Tomlinson participated in the Towson Conservatives Club and has volunteered for several Republican campaigns, including Kathy Szeliga and Governor Larry Hogan. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
I was going to say, all right, guys, millennials obviously make up a big part of this electorate. What have you been seeing? What have you been hearing? I've talked to a couple of millennials myself, and they've said that they don't know if they want to participate, and some folks are actually invested into this. What are you hearing?
So I actually participated with HeadCount, which is a nonpartisan voting registration group. And from so many millennials, I heard, yeah, I guess I'll register. But we really had to press a lot of the down ballot issues because they assumed Maryland would just go to the Democrats. So it was tough getting people to register to vote, but I think we did a good job. I registered about 100 myself and looking forward to it.
Yeah, Chris, were you hearing a similar thing, something different?
So where I live is up in Carroll County, and I mean, we're pretty much a strong red county. So I obviously get a different kind of perspective. But I have been seeing, I mean, an amount of people that I've never seen sign up to register to vote. I mean, people young and old, but obviously a lot of millennials. I mean, friends of mine who they've heard me talk politics for years, but this was the final year that made them register, and there's only one reason they registered to vote, and that was Donald Trump.
Recently, we talked with one of our guests from Black Girls Vote about the role social media has played in this election. I mean, as millennials, you know, you're always online. I feel like that's the best way to communicate with people. I know that there's, you know, a good side and a bad side to it. What have you seen, Chris?
There's obviously a bad side. I personally try to just focus on the campaigns that I'm helping out with. I try not to get into, I guess, more of the dirty details, just because I don't need that life, and I'm sure Amber feels the same way.
You know, I feel like I have been trying to fight the good fight on Facebook, and it's been such a struggle because there's so much misinformation. I saw today a post where someone was claiming that President Obama signed a bill to like ban the Pledge of Allegiance in schools, which is ridiculous. He wouldn't do that. And
wasn't that true? I thought, no. I'm just joking.
And I had to say, you guys, think about what you're reposting. Just because it fits your political agenda doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. Go to PolitiFact. You know, do your due diligence. It's been tough, but I'll be happy when hopefully it calms down.
I want to ask a question to the both of you. What's been the biggest thing that your peers have been saying that they wanted to see fixed? Is that student loan debt? Is it better opportunity for jobs once they graduate from college? What's been the vibe? What's been the talk amongst friends, amongst peers, as far as what they'd like to see from the next president?
Honestly, security. I mean, with all the ISIS-related homeland attacks. I mean, not exactly attacks, but you know, attacks where people are pledging their allegiance to ISIS before going in. Whether it was the massacre down in Florida at the nightclub. I mean, I'm seeing people that are feeling unsafe. I mean, which nobody has ever felt like that before. And obviously, with whether it's true or not, obviously we always hear that liberals are taking our guns. Whether to what extent we can debate that, but that's obvious. That's one of the things that I hear a lot is that I want to make sure my Second Amendment rights are protected. Which obviously, usually, if you're kind of going in that direction, you're probably feeling Donald Trump right now.
Amber, what about you?
I mean, I just have to combat that. Hillary Clinton has never tried, she's never said that she was going to take away anyone's guns who obtained them legally, who is in a healthy state of mind and is not on parole or some sort of other, or has obvious ties to ISIS. It's just one big piece of propaganda that the NRA continues to push, and it's extremely frustrating. Now, for me, one of the biggest issues that me and my peers face is student debt. And I think it's really important. A lot of people talk about the minimum wage and student debt like they are two different isolated issues, when in fact, there was a time when people could work their way through college without acquiring thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. In the 1950s, CEOs, the ratio of CEOs to average worker was about 1 to 20 in what they were being paid. Today, it's over 1 to 300. And so we're not keeping up paying the average person in a way that makes it affordable to go to college. So it's one of those things where we have to balance, you want students to pay for their own college, but you're not giving them the resources to do it. You can't work a minimum wage job and go to college. You can barely work a minimum wage job and pay rent in the city.
All right, all important issues. And, with millennials, I know a lot of the political battle is fought on social media, but what about on college campuses? I know you've graduated, but you were involved with a group there, and you're a graduate student. I mean, are you guys seeing these political discussions taking place on campuses and bars? I mean, what's it like? It's been such a contentious election.
That's where I have most of my debates.
Really? In bars?
Okay.
It's probably not a good idea. But
In Carroll County, it's okay. Carroll County, it gets you a shot.
What about you, Amber?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it at bars too. I'm at University of Maryland, Baltimore. Pickles is a big place that we all sort of congregate, and we talk about our struggles. I'm a graduate student researching muscular dystrophy, so I complain about lab, and I complain about potentially not having funding should a Trump be elected. It's a constant battle, and I would say that the biggest issues are student loan debt, not only for undergraduates, but also for medical students and dental students. The prices of those costs, the student debt, is in the hundreds of thousands when students graduate, and it's just not a sustainable amount.
Amber, Chris, thank you so much for coming on with us. The Millennial Voices. I love that. All right.